All right, you all, we have some crazy astrology going on right now. So if you are finding this video in the final week of December, or even really the first week of January, I want you to stop what you're doing and I want you to listen up, because you have probably been feeling this energy, even if you haven't been able to pinpoint exactly what it is that is going on. You may have been felt recently as though you've been hit by a truckload of negativity, of old negative ways of coping, of thinking, of being in the world, like essentially a shitstorm raining down upon you, at least in your emotional and possibly even in your physical world. And there is a reason for this. The biggest reason for this is the fact that on December 24th, 12-24-24, we had the second of 3 opening squares between Jupiter and Saturn. Now, Jupiter and Saturn met together back in 2020 at the end of December, and this was a powerful marker as far as the developing and the initiating of the age of Aquarius. This was essentially the new Earth timeline being birthed here. And this was a powerful bifurcation or splitting point within the realities when we're speaking of 3D and the 5D reality, new Earth, old Earth, however you want to sort of label these energies. This was a big, big ascension point. During this 20-year cycle, we have these check-in points of energies where we have Saturn and Jupiter connecting once more. So right now we're at the first square. We're going to have then an opposition and another square during this 20-year period. And these are essentially check-in points along this new Earth timeline. Now, the reason that we have 3 opening squares here between Saturn and Jupiter has to do with the fact that Saturn and Jupiter have been retrograde. So they've been passing back and forth by each other, I guess you could say. And so this is the second exact square that they're coming into. The third one's going to be in June of 2025. This is huge energy. This is essentially acting as a detox tool as we're moving through and closing out 2024 and getting ready to be launched into 2025. Those who are familiar with this channel, whether it be TikTok, YouTube, we've talked a lot, particularly on YouTube, about this energy of this quantum leap year that 2024 has been, as we have been quite literally leaping through consciousness. We've aligned with a very high collective timeline for humanity, and we've all leveled up if we've been doing the work in terms of our own individual timeline. So this period of time here, this check-in point with these planets has essentially, like we said, been a big detox. All of the old thought forms, all of the old trauma, all of the old baggage that we've been carrying that is not a match for the new timeline and new vibration that we are raising into is essentially being purged out right now. So if you feel like you've been moving backwards, if you feel like, because remember, we also, if we're just looking at the mechanics of these planets, we have Jupiter, which represents our faith, our ideals, our belief, right? And then we have Saturn, which represents the real world. Saturn is honestly the way that I feel Saturn as we're moving through these ascension energies is that Saturn is essentially the planet that helps us to master the third dimensional reality. But it does this by making it feel sometimes a bit more challenging, by presenting obstacles in the form of lessons, in the form of karma that we're clearing out so that we can upgrade ourselves, particularly in the sign of Pisces, which is the 12th sign in the zodiac. This is a sign of closing out. So we've had major soul contracts, major karmic contracts and karmic cycles that we've been clearing as Saturn has been within the sign of Pisces. And Saturn here, of course, now, when we talk about that opening conjunction, Saturn and Jupiter were both in Aquarius. So this is the birthing of those new ideas, the birthing of these new timelines. But now we're going back through and we're clearing out the sludge, essentially. But when we have Jupiter, which represents the beliefs, the values, our faith in ourselves, our faith in the universe, our optimism, coming into contact, especially in a squaring energy with Saturn, the great reality check, this can sometimes really, in addition to all the clearing and purging that we're doing, just when we look at the energies of these planets, it can be challenging. It can make us doubt our optimism. It can make us start questioning ourselves, start questioning our beliefs, our belief in ourselves, our belief in this new reality that we're building, our belief in perhaps the new Earth in general. Like some of us may have actually at times found ourselves being like, you know what, is this thing even happening? Have I been fooling myself all the time? Are my goals and dreams actually manifesting? Am I actually on this higher timeline? Some of us might even gone as far as to say, do timelines even really exist? Like, is the spiritual community just like a way, like a band-aid to place upon ourselves so that we don't go insane with the pressures of this world and the finality and the mundane sort of energy of it, right? Like, this could go, it's going to go deeper and deeper into different layers for different people. But what Spirit's telling me right now, and what Spirit wants us to understand, is that the deeper it goes, the better. And the more, like, essentially, for lack of a better way to put this, the more fucked up you're feeling right now, the better. Because that means that there is a deeper layer that has been accessed. There's a deeper layer that needs to be shifted, that is ready to be shed so that you can step into this next version of you. For a lot of us, the timelines and the versions of ourselves that we're aligning with are so far beyond where we are right now that it's literally like, and a lot of people, Spirit saying, particularly who've been working with belief systems, who've been working with affirmations, with rewiring their subconscious mind. Essentially, the subconscious mind is sort of like, you can imagine it like almost like brain zaps. Like, it's like fizzling out a little bit. It's short circuiting because there's so much that's being shifted and changed within our actual brain chemistry, right? Because like all of this happens on multiple levels, right? Mind, body, spirit. So it's like on that level of our physiology, our brain chemistry, as we're shifting these belief systems, some of which, many of which have been held for lifetimes, right? We tend to look just in this lifetime, but these belief systems, these traumas, this baggage, this karma that we're carrying comes with us lifetime after lifetime. Many of us, we've been working through the same shit for many, many lifetimes. That's the wheel of karma. That's sort of how this wasn't originally designed, but what it became when we fell during the time of Atlantis into a 3D construct. And if you guys want to learn more about that, follow me on YouTube. If you're interested in it, let me know. I'll do more videos about that on here. But essentially, that's what it's become. It's sort of like a hamster wheel that we've been running in circles around. So whatever is displeasing you in your life right now, whatever is causing you the most irritation and frustration, just know and understand that that is a karmic cycle. That is a karmic cycle that you came here to heal, that you came here to liberate yourself from. So like, this is essentially like, for many of us on some level of our lives, somewhere where we've been working really hard for a long time, this is like graduation day. All right. But it's not necessarily the nice, whimsical sort of experience that some of us might remember from like high school or something like that, where you're like, I finally did it. I feel so free. It's like, we gotta wade through the debris first. We gotta clear out all that shit. So let yourself feel whatever you're feeling. Know and understand that like, that's why you're feeling it. It's not because you haven't done enough work, right? A lot of us get down on ourselves for that. It's not because you aren't shifting. It actually is because you are shifting. I really think that the more, and Spirit confirmed that right earlier in this little talk or whatever you want to call it that we're doing right now, this video, that the more you're feeling this, probably the more you actually are shifting. So just go with it. Allow it. We're coming up on the black moon on December 30th. This is a powerful gateway and portal of energy. And I'm going to do a separate video on the black moon, but just know that this is essentially the second new moon in a month. It is huge. This is catapulting us through. It's like we're moving through that tunnel, through the darkness. And then that black moon, that dark moon is going to springboard us into the light of this next phase of our journey. So hang in there. I am doing a releasing and manifesting ceremony for the black moon on the day of the black moon, December 30th. If you want to get in on that action, go ahead and click my link tree. It's going to be the first link in the link tree. And look out for that next video where we delve more into the black moon. Just like I said, hang in there. You're doing great. If nobody else told you today, you are a master. You are a powerful, powerful creator. You are God, you are sovereign, and you are free. And I look forward to talking to you again soon.